Hi, this is Josh, and you're listening to The Other Show. I am all by myself in the studio. Spencer is off having a kid, Kenny is off on vacation, and somehow, in some way, they felt in their infinite wisdom that I could do a solo show. Yeah, welcome to The Other Show. I don't know. You know what? Actually, I need a co-host. I need some help here. Hold on, 1 second, honey. Marianne.
Yeah.
Hey, do you want to be on my podcast? Do you want to, like, Kenny? You know, Kenny is gone. Spencer's off having a baby. Do you want to be on the podcast?
I was kind of gonna bathe the cats tonight.
Bathe the cat. We've had the cats for almost like a year. We've never bathed them.
Yeah, but
Just
it's not the time.
just hop on. Will you just hop on one of the mics here, just for a few minutes?
Well,
I just
find me some ice cream.
Yeah, I'll get you some ice cream.
Okay.
Okay. Yeah, hop on right now. Come here. Let me just adjust this for you. All right. How's that? Do a little test check.
Testing. 1, 2, 3.
Okay, perfect. Okay. Thank you. I need somebody in the studio with me because I'm a little lost. Just I don't do solo shows very well, which is very puzzling considering I was single for 40 plus years, but that's a story for another day.
I was going to say, you did a single show until you were 40 years old.
I know, but I mean, I guess I've just become so dependent upon either you or somebody else that, man, I don't do the solo thing that much anymore. Not my thing.
Who else are you dependent on? Like Little Gibby or something?
Hey, we're not bringing little Gibby into this. I just have to say, I had a choice. You know, there was little Gibby at Gibson Girls Ice Cream, Disneyland, that I saw and I met just minutes before I met you. And hey, I still chose you.
This is true.
So I'm just saying, we don't have to bring little Gibby into this anymore, let alone Minnie. But yeah, whatever. Anyway,
Minnie's a whole other story because now you need to take me to Club 33 to make up for it.
Well, I wish I had the connections still. Things have changed in the past 10, 12 years that I've been there. So I can't just get a connection unless, I get a connection. But I don't have one right now.
I would like very much if you would find one because it's on my bucket list.
I'll take you to the Blue Bayou.
But Club 33 is on my bucket list.
Okay. I mean, maybe if we walked in, maybe they would let us use the bathroom.
I'm sure they would.
We'll check. Next time we're in Disneyland, let's go and ask if we can use the bathroom.
You can tell them that it's an emergency.
Because that does work well sometimes. Granted, it's better used if you're trying to get yourself out of a ticket, but, whatever.
True.
Anyway, I thank you for hopping on here. I don't know exactly what I'm going to be doing with this episode, but like I said, Kenny's gone. Spencer's having a kid. Well, Stephanie's having a kid. And so it's just me for this week, which we'll see how this kind of pans out. But now one thing about this week, I haven't come completely unprepared because we actually did have you on the other show. And
correct.
This is actually kind of, if you've already listened to this episode, well, one, it was a beefy episode compared to other episodes that we've done of the other show. Normally that episode is about 10 to 15 minutes long, and this one ended up to being just over an hour and a half. It was beefy, but that episode is purely 100% our story, how we met, and pretty much how we got to our wedding day. I'm really kind of surprised that took us over an hour and a half, but we filled that episode with really no dead air because it's a long story and a lot of people want to know that story. And yeah, there are details in there that you're probably thinking about, but it's mainly a story about us, how we met, the intricate things that kind of had to happen and really it's kind of almost like it's a story of how this podcast began.
This is true.
If you really think about it, you're probably the catalyst that got this show started.
That makes me feel warm in my heart that I was able to help.
You are the queen of the other show. But no, it's a really cool episode. You know, it's really kind of a labor of love, and it's really kind of our family history, I guess you could say, right? And yeah, I probably have already posted it onto Family Search, but you know, whatever. But anyway, go check that out on Patreon. That episode is available to everybody who contributes to Patreon. That's $5, $15, or $25 a month. So every tier gets that episode. So if you want to listen to it, go join us at patreon.com/the other show. But great episode, fun episode. All right, now, since I have you on the podcast, I actually do want to do a couple of things here. Now,
Okay.
first off, I want to read straight out of your diary of you as an 18 or 19-year-old girl. Can we do that?
Probably not.
Oh, man.
It's a little too embarrassing.
Okay, so I should definitely then burn the copies I've made.
Yeah, hun.
Okay, fine. But
I mean, it was fun when you were reading through it and like quoting me in your girly voice. That was fun and funny, but you know.
Okay, well that just cuts the episode in half.
Sorry.
Okay, how about we play a game? Do you want to play a game? I think that's what I'm going to end up doing in this episode because I don't know what else to do, so we're going to play some games.
Okay.
Now, one of the reasons why we did the episode of the other show is because this upcoming Sunday, the 11th, is our 2-year meet-iversary where we met in Disneyland.
Yes.
I probably should have prefaced that much earlier in this episode. But we've known each other now for 2 years. We've been married, 19 months now? Ish.
Is
that right? Or is it 20?
It'll be 2 years in June, so.
So, yeah. So 20 months.
Wow, look at us.
Yeah, look at us. We're almost a 2-year-old toddler. Anyway, we've known each other for 2 years now. And I want to know how well you know me. All right?
Okay.
So I have prepared 5 questions. These are multiple choice that I'm going to ask you. All right? Each one is worth 2 points. I don't know if that necessarily matters because if you get 75% of these questions correct, I'm going to give you a gift card to the Olive Garden. Okay? Now,
a full gift card?
Well, that's the kicker. I don't know if I've used this gift card. There could be, supposedly there's $50 on this gift card, but there could be $25, there could be $5, there could be $12.50 on this gift card. It's kind of like playing Russian roulette with gift cards.
Oh.
So, who knows? You don't know what you're getting, but it will be yours if you can get 3 out of the 5 questions I'm going to be asking you correctly.
Okay.
Are you ready for this?
I think so.
Okay. All right. Don't let me down here because if not, we're going to have to get some couples therapy going here. All right.
Well,
Question.
what if they're questions from your childhood and I don't know what the heck? I didn't know you back then.
Well, you know what, though? We've had 2 years where you should have been asking some questions, preparing yourself for this moment. So
Oh.
I'm just saying you probably should have done a crash course, actually. But anyway. All right, question number 1. These are all multiple choice.
Okay.
I wanted to make it at least a little bit easy for you. All right. And
Yeah.
here's the question.
Thank you.
Which of the following nicknames have I not used or have been called over the years? A. Ty. B. Walla. C. Noodles. D. Thunder Lizard. Which one have I not used or been called?
Let's see. I know that you were called Walla, and what was the first one again?
Ty.
No, you're Ty because you wanted to be Ty Detmer
Mm-hmm. Well, or just have his name.
or have his name.
Mm-hmm.
Noodles, and what was the other one?
Thunder Lizard.
For some reason, Thunder Lizard is also sneaking up in my brain, so maybe we've talked about that.
Okay.
So I think I'm gonna go with Noodles. Maybe.
Okay. Maybe I need a definite answer here.
The look on your face when I said Noodles was kind of looked like disappointment.
Maybe that's just my regular face. I just have a face of disappointment.
Ugh. Thunder Lizard. Dang it, I don't know if it's one of the two, which one it is.
I need a final answer.
I'll stick with Noodles, I suppose.
The correct answer is C. Noodles.
Oh, good.
Did get that correct. Now, Thunder Lizard is a nickname that my dad gave me. So he called me Thunder Lizard pretty much the day one of me in sports because I was the tallest and most awkward looking kid out there on the field.
Thunder Lizard. Like, what did he mean by that? Was it like a character? Or?
No, I just was tall and lerpy and awkward that somehow Thunder Lizard just became my thing. I have no idea. But he still even calls me Thunder Lizard quite a bit. But yeah, Noodles, that nickname, it's kind of a derivative of another nickname. I had on my mission a group of elders that called me Toodles.
Okay.
Which, if you are familiar with the movie Hook, there's Toodles who lost his marbles. And that was the nickname that I got. And then Walla, of course, is what most of my nieces and nephews call me. And Ty, of course, I wanted to change my name to Ty Detmer Hansen when I was a kid. I went through that awkward phase. But yes, you got 1 point. Now you just need 2 more to make sure that you get that gift card. Okay, this is question number 2. Who did I name my boxer Roxy after? A. Roxy Hart from Chicago. B. Famous Mormon poet Eliza R. Snow. C. Major League Baseball pitcher Roxy Lawson. Or D. Whatever prostitute the police were singing about in Roxanne.
You have actually told me about this one. I do believe Eliza R. Snow, who is also a great aunt.
She's a
or something.
Great aunt. But are you sure it wasn't named after Roxanne?
Well, my other one would have been Roxy Hart, but I'll stay with
You're going to stay with Eliza R. Snow?
Eliza Roxy Snow.
Okay. And the correct answer is Eliza R. Snow.
Woohoo.
So yes, she is my great aunt. And yes, I named Roxy after her middle name because R stands for Roxy and it's spelled Roxcy. So I can just imagine now when I get up to heaven and I meet Eliza R. Snow, I'm sure the first thing that she's going to ask is, why did you name a dog after me? Then again, that's probably going to be the conversation that we're going to have with Walt and Roy Disney. Why did you name a cat after me?
Well, then we'd get the opportunity to talk to them, so I thought I'd be fine with that.
Okay, yeah, I'm fine with that as well. But okay. All right, one more question that you need to get correct, and that gift card is yours, okay?
Oh boy.
All right, so the question here is, which of these names are one that I did not use for the 12 parakeets that I have owned during my lifetime? Is it A, Betty White, B, Baby Junior, C, Stephanie, or D, Joseph Smith? Which one was not a name I used for a parakeet? I know I've talked
Okay.
about this with you.
You have. What about, since I love Betty White, I mean, I think that you were, getting to be prepared for me back in the day. So I think Betty White.
It's which one was not used. Not used. Are you sure about Betty White?
Okay.
I don't know if I confused you with the question, but which of those names did I not use?
Oh, okay. Will you read them again?
Yes, Betty White, Baby Junior, Stephanie Tanner, or Joseph Smith.
I don't think you used Baby Junior.
Okay, is that your final answer?
Yes.
All right, the correct answer is actually Stephanie Tanner.
Oh.
I did not use Stephanie Tanner. I was actually more of a DJ Tanner fan back in the day. And that was actually the name of a gerbil I had, but that's another story for another day.
Yeah, some of these names I remember hearing, but they were probably other.
Yep, I did have
animals.
Betty White. I did have a Betty White because I actually held a funeral for that parakeet.
Yes.
I did have a Baby Junior, and I did have a bird named Joseph Smith. And yeah, so that's okay. You still just need one more here, okay?
Okay.
All right, next question, fourth question. Get this right, you get that gift card, okay?
Okay.
What is the mascot of my college alma mater, SUU, or Southern Utah University? Is it A, the Broncos, B, the Wildcats, C, the Thunderbirds, or D, the Trailblazers?
Oh, jeez. I don't know. I don't know. Wildcats?
Is that your final answer?
Well, then you confuse me when you say that.
Well, I don't mean to.
Yeah, I'll stick with Wildcats.
All right, the actual answer is C, Thunderbirds.
Oh, like the airplanes?
Well, it's more of a mythical bird creature that
Okay.
are named after. The name of SUU actually before the Thunderbirds was the Broncos. So if you guessed that, I probably would have given you half a point. But yeah, Broncos was the SUU's former name. Wildcats is the alma mater name of my high school, which is Woods Cross, and Trailblazers is the nickname for the school formerly known as Dixie State. Utah Tech, I guess, is the name now. Anyway, okay. I thought I might be able to trick you on that one, and apparently I did. This is the last question.
Uh-oh.
So you have to get this right. Are you ready for this?
Yes.
Okay.
I believe so.
Okay, here we go. Before meeting you 2 years ago this upcoming Sunday, what was the greatest moment of my life? Was it A, graduating college, B, getting hit by a car, or C, winning a cooking game show, or D, getting 2 prizes in a box of Fruit Loops?
Definitely D. Getting 2 prizes in a box of Fruit Loops.
That is correct.
Woohoo!
So you won the gift card. And yes, that's what I've been telling you ever since we became a thing, that you are the best thing that has ever happened to me ever since I got 2 prizes in a box of Fruit Loops. And it wasn't just any prize. It was as a kid, because I don't know if you remember or the audience remembers those sticky like octopus things that you would throw like on the window, and then it would just kind of trickle down because of all the stickiness on it.
Oh, yes.
Got 2 of those in a box of Fruit Loops, and it was the greatest moment, greatest day in my life until February 11th, 2022. So anyway, thank you for humoring me, Marianne. I'm glad that
Welcome.
I can actually show some raw data here that you actually know me. So and thank you again for being such a good sport on just jumping onto this and recording our story with the other show. It's fun being able to have a wife that can have fun alongside with you. So anyway, we're gonna go to a commercial break, and then when we come back, gonna figure out what else I'm gonna do on this episode. So come back after this. Spencer, do you know what is the worst?
I-15 rush hour?
Well, yes, absolutely. But it's specifically when you're driving along on the freeway and you get behind one of those trucks, like specifically one of those dump trucks, right?
Oh, yeah.
And before you can get out from behind that dump truck, one of those rocks from the back of the truck slings up, hits your windshield, and boom, you got a chip, right? I absolutely hate it. Now, if you're like me, you watch that chip gradually grow from a little chip to a whole long crack that just goes along that whole windshield. I hate it. I hate dealing with it. I hate looking at it. It's just such a hassle.
Luckily, you can use our friends at Ashby Agency and Associates. They're backed by American Family Insurance, and they can help you with that crack.
Thank you.
AmFam offers $0 comprehensible deductibles, which means there's no out-of-pocket cost for that windshield. Additionally, you can customize your discount based on how you drive and save as much as 20% on your auto insurance with Drive My Way. And for the most savings, bundle your home or renter's policies with your auto, camper, umbrella, ATV, UTV, motorcycle, boat, snowmobile, business, and even life insurance policies. Let the insurance advisors at Ashby Agency and Associates help you save today.
Call Monday through Friday, 9 a.m. to 5 p.m. at 385-383-3117. Again, that's 385-383-3117. Insure carefully, dream fearlessly. American Family Insurance. We're really going to have to work on that last part.
Uh-huh.
All right, welcome back to the other show. Now, this weekend is not just Marianne and my meet-iversary, but it's also the Super Bowl, which is happening next door. Well, Nevada, which is next door to Utah. But it's happening in Vegas. And I think, since Spencer is gone, maybe we can talk a little bit of sports. So, I have with me...
This is a sports podcast, right?
It is this week. Yes,
okay.
It is this week. So, welcome to the other sports show.
Yes.
I've got my really good friend, Brian Booth. We go back...
2003. 2003.
Oh my gosh, 21 years. Holy cow. That's legal drinking age right there.
That's
21 years.
Good thing the Super Bowl is coming up. It gives us the perfect excuse, right?
Exactly. Yep, 2003, the year of Homestar Runner, baby. Oh yeah.
That was the best.
That was pretty much all we did in college. I don't know how we passed, but anyway. Brian, thank you for being here. First off, my condolences on the Eagles not making it to the Super Bowl. I know
that's okay.
I know that that was a tough loss, and
yeah, I was at that game too. Kind of very last minute, threw everything together, I found tickets on the 9th row in the corner of the end zone for $200. And I quickly checked to see, like, hey, is there a red eye to Tampa? No. Is there a red eye to Orlando? Yes. Do I have enough points to buy this red eye to Orlando? Yes. Do I have a free rental car? Yes. Do I have enough points with Marriott to get a free hotel stay? Yes. So at about 8 o'clock at night that Sunday, I decided, hey, maybe I'll look into this. To 8:30, I had my ticket purchased, my flight booked, my rental car booked, my hotel booked. And then by 9:30, I was out the door driving to the airport. And by 11:30, I was on a plane on my way there. And then I went to the game on Monday. So it was
awesome.
It was very last minute. And, I thought, if this is going to be Jason Kelce's last game, I want to be there. So, yeah, it was.
And you were there.
It was fun. I was there.
Yes,
and
you
it
were.
may have been his last game, although I think now that a little bit of time has passed, I feel like he might be leaning towards coming back again next year, especially with some of the new coordinators and coaches that we've gotten. So we'll see. We'll see. I think right now as a team, overall, we're in a much better position now than we were at the end of the season. And, I think it's time we move on from some of our aging veterans and invest in some younger players at a few spots. But I think next year should be a really good year, regardless of whether Jason comes back or not. I really hope he does. He's kind of turned into America's brother. And
is
he's
he
kind of
younger or older than Travis?
Jason is the older brother.
Okay.
So Jason's older. Travis is the younger brother. And I just feel, I don't know if you watch their podcast, but they are both just so down to earth and relatable. But Jason really, and maybe it's because he has a wife and kids, he's just so relatable to people. And I think that's why people love him.
Well, as long as they're not as annoying as the Manning brothers, sign me up. I don't know what it is about the Manning brothers, but they annoy me to no end.
Josh, I'm going to give you a hint. It's the fact that they have a complete lack of personality.
Oh, okay. That's what it is.
I mean, think about it.
It is true.
Peyton is just so dry, and that's when he makes a joke, he says it all in that same very monotone kind of voice, and then Eli just has the same stupid expression on his face all the time of, huh?
Yeah.
And don't get me wrong, they both won 2 Super Bowls. They're both good quarterbacks, but as far as personality goes, they're just not relatable to everyday kind of Joe Blow America, right?
Right.
Whereas you look at Jason Kelce and he talks about, stuff that happens with his wife and kids, and people can relate to that, and they come from a very blue collar background. The Mannings were raised in a house where their dad was a professional athlete,
Right.
So like I said, I think people just relate to the Kelces much better than they do the Mannings, in my personal opinion.
Well, and what better dream than to live vicariously through Travis in dating Taylor Swift, right? I mean, that's every American's dream. Well, okay, maybe not every American.
Everybody, he is better at catching sixes than anyone else, and that continues with Taylor Swift.
Ooh, yes, that's true. Anyway, we're not here to talk about Taylor. We're not here to talk about the Kelces. We're not here to talk about the Mannings. We're here to talk about the Super Bowl. Now, it's San Francisco and Kansas City. This is the second time in 4 years, I believe?
No, it was.
Was it 4
I think
or
it's
3
technically.
years? I can never remember with how
I think
they have the
it's
season and the years
50
off.
Yeah, I guess it is technically 5 seasons. So they played in Super Bowl 54.
Yep, before the pandemic.
Yeah, so 4 years. So so they won in 54. They lost in 53.
Mhm.
55 was the Rams. And the
Rams and Bengals.
Rams Bengals.
Yeah.
I'm sorry. So they won 54. They lost 55. That was the Buccaneers. And then Rams Bengals. And then, they won last year.
Yes.
And then
we won't talk.
probably going to win again this year.
You know, that's what I kind of want your opinion on, because Kansas City's been here. I mean, San Francisco's been here, but they have a quarterback that has never been here. Mr. Irrelevant, the last pick of the draft, 3 years ago?
Last year.
Oh, last year.
Yeah,
so
he was a rookie last year playing in the NFC Championship.
He's really never been anywhere. So it's kind of not fair to say that the Niners have been here before when they have a quarterback so green. But they've done such a great job throughout the regular season and the playoffs that I don't know how do you match up these two teams?
I mean, Brock Purdy is kind of the wild card, and you kind of brought that up. And I talked a little bit about this earlier in the year, but with Brock, how I view Brock is he is a very efficient game manager. Now that phrase game manager has kind of a negative connotation. Mm-hmm. I don't mean it in a negative way, but especially at the beginning of the year with the 49ers, I didn't watch every 49ers game, but I did watch a few. Especially in the beginning, he was getting a lot of what we call yak yards. Yak, mm-hmm. YAC is an acronym mm-hmm. for yards after the catch. So if you look at his stats every week, he would throw for like 300 yards, but if you actually watched his throws, most were 15 yards and under through the air. But when you have players like Deebo Samuel or mm-hmm. Christian McCaffrey or Brandon Ayuk or George Kittle, guys who are fast, shifty, and in general hard to tackle, you get a lot of yards after the catch. Now, so in one sense, I feel because of that, his yards were inflated a little bit. Mm-hmm. But at the same time, as a quarterback, that's your job, is to make the right read and to throw it to the open guy. Now, if the open guy can get you 20 extra yards, great. Like, you're supposed to throw it in a position to where he can catch the ball in stride and continue running, right? That's the whole point. So I'm not going to knock Brock Purdy for making a correct read. Now, I will say this. He has impressed me in the playoffs this year where, again, I did not watch a ton of 49ers games during the regular season. I watched maybe two or three. Mm-hmm. But these last 2 weeks in the playoffs, the play breaks down and he will pull the ball down and just run himself. And he's been very effective at running the ball. He hasn't been considered a mobile quarterback up until now, but he's been very effective when, the situation called for him to tuck and run. And he was able to convert several first downs and not even get the first down, but he would run for 25, 30 yards at a clip, on a couple of plays. So he's been very effective. The San Francisco defense is no joke. But the one thing that the Chiefs have that the 49ers don't have is Taylor Swift.
Mm-hmm. I knew it.
And not only that, but in all seriousness, you just cannot bet against Patrick Mahomes.
Right.
And here's the thing, like, the Eagles and the Chiefs played earlier in this year, and it was not until literally the clock hit 0-0-0 that I was like, we're going to win, because he's always got that factor of he is just mobile enough to make you pay if you miss the tackle, right? And he makes people miss a lot. Again, he's not necessarily a running quarterback. He's not like your Cam Newtons or even your Jalen Hurtses of the world, right? But he is very effective and efficient when called upon. He can either avoid contact in the pocket or he can tuck the ball and run. And he's also very smart about when he runs. He usually doesn't take a lot of contact. He'll slide when he's about to get hit.
Yeah.
And so he's just got that Tom Brady factor. And really, we haven't seen anyone since Tom Brady who's like that. I will give you the punchable face.
Well, actually, I mean, his brother, what is it, Jackson Mahomes?
Correct. Jackson Mahomes is the worst.
A punchable face.
Very much so. Very much so. I mean, here's the thing. Patrick Mahomes, you can make fun of him for his goofy Kermit the Frog voice. You can make fun of him because his wife is a total piece of work. Let's just put it that way. His brother is also a total piece of work.
Mm-hmm.
But, he's, and I'll give this to him, Patrick himself stays out of trouble. He says all the right things. He does all the right things on and off the field. And much like Tom Brady he's just got that clutch factor.
Mm-hmm.
You can't bet against him, in my opinion. Like,
no.
Until the clock runs out. And I felt this way when the Eagles won the Super Bowl against the Patriots back in 2017. I was on the edge of my seat until literally the clock hit 0 and we won.
Mm-hmm.
Because it came down to the final play. And I have a feeling that this game could go down to the final play one way or the other.
Okay.
But I think eventually, when all is said and done, my feeling is San Francisco is going to lose by about 3 to 4 points. I'm going to say 27-24 Chiefs.
Okay. 27-24 Chiefs. Okay. See, that's kind of how I feel. You can't bet against Kansas City. They've had an amazing string the past 5-6 years, making it to, the Super Bowl. This is their 4th time in 5 years, being in the conference championship each of those 5 years.
6 years in a row in the championship game.
Yeah, 6 years in a row. So you cannot bet against them. And yeah, Jackson Mahomes, you just can't. You can't bet against him because he does, like you said, all the right things. So all of these are great talking points for everybody out there preparing themselves for Super Bowl. You're going to just take these as talking points and just go ahead and talk about Patrick Mahomes, talk about, I'm sure a lot of people are going to be out there talking about Travis Kelce and Taylor Swift, but, drop some knowledge that, about Patrick Mahomes, and you can't bet against him because you'll look good. You'll look good, especially
here's something we can bet on.
That Brian will say.
Here's something you can bet on. I'm going to put the over-under for shots of Taylor Swift at 13.5.
Okay, I'm going to put this down. I don't even know how, I am not a betting man. I'll sit in front of a slot machine, but I have no idea how these numbers
So this is how it works. If you think they will show her more than 13.5 times, you go with the over.
Okay.
If you think they will show her less than 13.5 times, and I put the half in there just because that way, the 13 is either under or 14 is over, right? So If you think it'll be 13 or less times, you take the under. If you think it'll be 14 or more
Oh.
times, you take the over.
Dude,
So
you're
that's
gonna
how
make,
the over-under works.
You're gonna make me a betting man, and this is not good. I'm pretty sure. Can you place a bet in Vegas for this?
100%. 100%. You can literally bet on things as stupid as, will the singer of the national anthem screw up the lyrics?
Well, it's Reba McEntire. I mean, she better not. She'll lose so much cred.
I'm just saying, like, that you can bet on literally anything, and there are people who will
My
give you
gosh.
odds on that.
My gosh, I am so glad I didn't move to Vegas. All right. Anyway, okay. Now here's the important stuff I want to know as well. Okay, so we have your game prediction, 27-24, the Chiefs.
Hmm.
But when it comes to Kansas City and San Francisco, there's a few things I want your opinion on. Okay, the cuisine. And I've done this the past couple of years. I did this last episode. But Rice-A-Roni or Kansas City barbecue? Who's
Okay.
winning that?
First of all,
Mm-hmm.
you shouldn't go with Rice-A-Roni. I know it's the San Francisco treat,
Sourdough
Okay.
bread?
but so here's what you do. You
Mhm.
got to take clam chowder in
Mhm.
a bread bowl. Clam chowder in a bread
Okay.
bowl.
Mm-hmm.
In a sourdough bread bowl. Because then I think you would have a lot closer competition. Because I've had clam chowder in a bread bowl on the San Francisco Pier, and it was to
Okay.
die for. It was so good. Probably the best clam chowder I've ever had in my life. However, I also went to, I've been to Kansas City. I've had their barbecue right there by the Central Station or whatever it is. I can't think of the name of the place right now. I'm blanking on it.
Is it the Stockyard?
Jack Stacks. Jack Stacks. That's what
Jack-
it was.
Okay. Jack
Jack
Stacks.
Stacks. And that place was the best barbecue I have ever had in my life, ever, hands down.
Like more than like Texas barbecue?
Oh, yeah. Yeah. I mean, here's the thing. From my understanding, and at least in my experience,
Mm-hmm.
Kansas City barbecue is much more focused on the sauce. Texas barbecue is a lot more focused on like your salt and pepper. So you get a lot of salt and pepper on your brisket, on your ribs or whatever. And don't get
Mhm.
me wrong, I've had some amazing ribs in Texas.
Okay.
Black's barbecue in Austin comes to mind. Stubbs in Austin, Texas also comes to mind. Both very peppery.
Mhm.
Very delicious. But the ribs and the sauce that I had in Kansas City at Jack Stacks, dude, it was
Okay.
next level. Next
Okay.
level. It was so
So you're saying Kansas City over San
good.
Francisco? food
I would
department.
give the edge to Kansas City over
Okay.
over the clam chowder for
Okay.
sure.
And then.
And here's the thing, like the Rice-A-Roni,
Mhm.
that wouldn't even have made the playoffs, dude. Like that team's going 4-13.
Well, yeah, it's the post Steve Young 49ers, right?
There you go. There you go.
Okay. And then one last question. San Francisco versus Kansas City tourist attractions. Okay, so let's go with Alcatraz and man, what's in Kansas City? I mean, there's the Mormon historical sites and everything. Independence, Missouri, Liberty Jail.
You know, like I went and saw Jack Stacks, like I said, was right down the road from where they had the NFL draft this year.
Mhm.
So that was cool. But I wouldn't really consider, and this may just be my ignorance speaking, and I will own that if this is the case, but Kansas City is not really a tourist town, dude. Like, are there things you could go do and go see? I'm sure there are, but
They've got a cool
unfortunately-
fountain.
Yeah, well, that's right outside the station, right?
Mm-hmm.
So I don't know. Like, I when I went to Alcatraz, that was one of my favorite experiences I had in high school. When we did the audio tour of Alcatraz my senior year. That was cool. So I would give the edge to Alcatraz.
Okay. Okay, at least San Francisco came away with at least part of a win, right?
Yeah.
Okay.
You could say it's rock solid.
Oh. All right, Brian. Thank you so much for being on this. And Spencer, yeah, this is the Other Sports Show. Anyway, moving on. I'm really excited about our next little segment here because not only do we have a few awesome people that I love talking to, but we're going to be talking a lot about Las Vegas. For many good reasons. The Super Bowl is happening in Vegas just this weekend, and I'm going to be going to Las Vegas at the end of the month. So, with that said, Casey, welcome back to the Other Show.
Josh, I appreciate it. And I didn't even have to hide under the desk for the first, 2 hours
No.
because Kenny and Spencer aren't even here. So, it was nice.
I have so much room underneath my desk. It's great. So much leg room.
So next time I'll be back. Don't worry.
But how is Vegas, man? I mean, are things a buzz in Vegas for the Super Bowl?
Things are moving here, and I'll even argue that even though we're talking about the Super Bowl now, that Formula One kind of kicked off this buzz. Formula One was an event that filled the entire city with people from all over the world. And the city was trying to figure out how to navigate that, how to make it work for the months and months of preparation and construction. And then without too long of a break, now we're going to have the Super Bowl, which is Las Vegas is a prime city for it. I mean, where else could you have that many hotels of that caliber right next to a stadium? So the level of entertainment here, I mean, everybody knows Las Vegas, but this place is going to be lit up, which is why I'm going to be out of town. So
now, when you say lit up, are we talking lights or are we talking something else, or a little bit of both?
All of the above. Yep, lit up. And you know what? Even though the Raiders aren't in the Super Bowl, they're playing at Allegiant Stadium, the Raiders Stadium. So lit up for sure.
No, and it's exciting because I don't think granted, I'm not driving down to Vegas for the Super Bowl. I like the Niners-ish.
Sure.
It's one of the many teams I kind of like. I don't really have a hometown team or anything. And I mean, that's kind of what happens when you live in Utah, grow up in Utah.
Oh, yeah, exactly.
It's either BYU, Utah, and then there's, whoever there else is to root for. So, but I like the Niners because I love San Francisco and everything. And then, of course, Kansas City. And I mean, I guess if I'm going to cheer, if I'm a Utah Mormon. So, I mean, Kansas City, that's where Independence, Missouri is. So maybe I should root for them. I don't know.
I hadn't considered that. I'm actually on the exact same page as you are about San Francisco. I mean, I grew up in Southern California, and the 49ers always had a place in my heart for one of my teams, but I hadn't really considered that about Kansas City. Maybe I need to reevaluate.
I mean, I'm just going to start calling them the Zion Chiefs. I'm just saying. I mean,
I'll get with you on that. I'll support that. I can start. I'll start hashtag Zion Chiefs and see how that takes off.
Come on, brethren, let's root for the team.
All right, we're going to start something here. I don't think it's going to last, but we'll try.
I mean, we can try. I mean, their baseball team, the Royals. I mean, what better name for a Zion team?
Man, you know what? These are things. Man, you're a visionary. You're a visionary man.
The Zion Royals, man. Royal Generation. That's the hashtag for the Royals for next year. Hashtag Royal Generation.
Royal Generation.
That they don't know what happened to them, man. Anyway, totally derailing the show. But Super Bowl, have you gone down to the Strip at all to see what's happening?
So as a true Las Vegas native, born and raised since a year ago, we stay away from the Strip as much as we can, and I don't mean that because it's evil. It's because it's expensive and there's a billion people. I mean, that's really what it comes down to. But there's a lot of fun food. There's a lot of fun things to do. But just last week, I had to drive down and grab something from off of one of the exits right past the stadium, and they're already getting prepared for the crowds. I mean, the hotels are all booked up. I went online just to see. You can still get some rooms, but you're going to be paying out the nose for them, and I'm sure that flights are wild. Traffic is going to be out of this world. Las Vegas traffic already kind of stinks, and again, that's mostly on the Strip. But between California and Las Vegas is going to be just not even worth it. I mean, paying that much to go see the Super Bowl and then having to sit in 12 hours of traffic on your way home is going to be just a joy.
Let's just be grateful that it's the Niners and not the Rams or the Chargers in the Super Bowl.
Either one of those would have been traffic from seriously would have been traffic as far as the eye could see, from one end of the 15 until the coast. I mean, there would be cars, nonstop solid cars.
But it is exciting. I mean, Niners, like I said, they're kind of a team I like. And then, the Zion Chiefs. It'll be a fun game, I think, especially since we've got the Taylor Swift,
Taylor Swift's boyfriend's team.
Yeah.
All right. That's what I'm here for, buddy, right now. Oh.
Do you think we're going to get like a record-breaking viewership of the Super Bowl for this?
Look, viewership has already been through the roof. Just for regular season games and then into the playoffs, the answer is most definitely yes. There are going to be look, not to classify too much, but there are going to be more wives actually paying attention to the Super Bowl than there ever have been in the past. I know that when you go to a Super Bowl party, there's usually going to be, a husband and a wife or boyfriend and a girlfriend there anyway, just to kind of hang out. But look, when it's Taylor Swift watch, there's going to be more girls glued to the screen, myself included, to be honest.
Are you a Swiftie?
I'm a Swiftie. Went to the show in March when she was here at Allegiant Stadium, and I'm gonna say that the traffic and the buzz is rivaling when the Queen herself came here to town, and so it's gonna be a big deal here.
Oh man, and I think she is planning on being there at the stadium. So
yeah, she has some. From what I understood, she had some conflict like the day before, like across the world. But she's going to come back and she's going to fly back in because after all of this lead up, Taylor Swift's boyfriend's team is in the Super Bowl. If she wasn't at that game, I don't know what the world would do. I mean, honestly, it's like really the culmination.
Yeah, and it's really like this picture perfect couple, like the cheerleader and the star football player, right? Like, that at the end of the game, like, Travis he's got to propose. Like, if he doesn't, America's going to come out with pitchforks, and they're going to go after him.
When he wins, and she comes down onto the field, and the confetti's going, and they all have their shirts on over their pads and their stupid hats on that they made for both teams in case either one won, and they're Super Bowl champs, and she's standing there with her leg popped, kissing him up on the cheek because he's 8 feet tall, and I mean, it is going to be the cover of Time magazine.
Oh yeah, it definitely is. It's probably going to be the picture of the year. Like, I'm just getting the tingles just thinking about it. So. It's gonna be a special moment, man. It's got to happen.
You know what?
Which just like means that the Niners are gonna ruin it.
I was gonna say, if the Niners ruin it, it's gonna be a problem. But I mean, that just like the rest of the world, we're here sitting talking about the Super Bowl, and inevitably it swapped over to Taylor Swift. I think something's going on here, man.
Oh, you think something's going on?
I think something's going on. Look, I like Taylor Swift as much as the regular average Joe. Not a super fan, don't know all the lyrics to all of her songs, but I think she's got some good music, and I enjoy listening to her. But come on, I mean, there is a lot of attention on this, and one thing we know about celebrities is that attention is fantastic. And even though Travis Kelce already had himself a great career and Taylor Swift already had herself a great career, it's like the meeting of two titans. It's like the merger of two enormous companies just come to take over the industry. I mean, this is really what I think is going on here.
Oh,
and
man.
I think that at least some of it is either manufactured or being absolutely just played up as much as possible. And everybody is riding that wave, the NFL included.
Oh, I'm definitely on this wave.
I mean, Travis Kelce, Jason Kelce is getting attention from this. I mean, seriously, anyone who's even remotely attached to these guys is like, oh, millions of dollars in endorsements and attention on social media? Yes, please. Which, for what it's worth, so would I. So I don't blame anybody. I just think there's something going on here. Not that I'm opposed to it, but I mean, come on.
You know, I'm going to drink the Kool-Aid alongside with you. Not the Kool-Aid from the Strip, because I'm pretty sure there's alcohol in that Kool-Aid.
At least a lot of it, yeah.
Yeah, at least a lot. But yeah, I think there is something. I mean, it's a little too manufactured, and so I don't know. But
it is like you said, it is fairy tale. It's the cheerleader and the football star, which, for what it's worth, half of her song catalog is written about. And so, I mean, this is this is just manifest destiny. I mean, it is the stars aligning right now.
Well, I'm enjoying it while it lasts, but yeah, I think there's something else to it. But anyway, I think we've talked about Taylor Swift long enough. Now,
I appreciate that.
The other reason why I wanted to bring you on here as well, like I mentioned earlier, not only the Super Bowl, but I'm also going to be going down there at the end of the month because I'm running the Rock and Roll 10K down in
10K.
Vegas,
Yes,
which
sir.
I love. I've done that race now 3 times. I love it.
For those of us who don't do Ks, that would be 6.2 miles. Just want everyone to be aware that is a good solid distance, Josh. I'm proud of you.
It's the only time like us Americans ever feel European or like the rest of the world.
Right. You say European, but you're right. It's literally just us in our miles.
Everybody else. The Canadians even are like, what's 6.2 miles, eh?
Seriously.
But yes, 6.2 miles. It's the whole strip. It's awesome because it's right at sunset and everything.
What a cool
I love
place.
it.
Yeah.
I've had some great experiences running that race, and so I love Vegas. I love the strip. I love exploring everything off the strip as well because there's a lot. There's a lot to do in Vegas, and I think we should definitely have. Now you're going to be filling in for Spencer for a couple of weeks at the end of this month.
Yep.
And I think we should tackle some of the off-strip Vegas things, whether it's food, whether it's attractions or whatever, because there's a lot more to Vegas than just the strip. But since all the focus has been kind of on the strip, I kind of wanted to play a game with this.
Okay.
Of some of the strip attractions. And I wanted to get a local, a year-old locals take on this. So I made this into a game.
Please tell me it's going to have something to do with Thunder from Down Under.
I forgot that on. You ever look at like people like the Thunder Down Under and you're like, I stare at them like out of this awe of like, how do you get your body to like?
It truly is a sense of awe and wonder. Like
it is.
What? Yeah.
Like I don't stare at it like in any way sexual. It's in awe that like a human body can look like that. Because like, how do you like? You don't even have a 6-pack. You have like a 12-pack.
There's like 12 rivets going on there. Yeah, and the truth, I fully understand what you're saying, and I am caught in the same trance when I see pictures of these guys because I'm like, I understand that it's your job to look like that, but also even still, how? I mean, how? It is just, it's kind of incredible. And so, I mean, look, I go to the gym on a regular basis. I'm not a big power lifter or bodybuilder. I run fairly extensively. I mean, at least well, depending, maybe 30 or 40 miles a week, so nothing terrible, but I mean, we're getting up there. And I have the daddest bod that has ever existed on the planet, and I don't even know how to even approach that level of.
Oh no! I mean, even at my thinnest, I'm still wearing baggy clothes, man.
Yeah,
you know, because somehow, some way, I still look like I have cleavage. So you know,
I'm with you, brother.
Anyway, let's get off the road. But so I wanted to take some attractions. I wrote down some of these attractions on the strip, and I want to play this game. And I don't know, there's got to be another name for this game, but it's known usually as, well, marry or kill.
Oh yeah, middle school. We're bringing this. I know this game. Gotcha.
Yeah.
Okay.
So you have to answer it. There's no way out of it. And are you gonna it, marry it, or kill it? And so I mean, I'm gonna edit those out.
And we're talking about Las Vegas things, attractions.
Yes.
Okay. Can I choose to all of it, because that's typically what happens here?
Well, I mean, for the listeners at home, I mean, they probably would from too, but
Sure, right.
Is there another name for this game?
I was gonna say we're gonna have a lot of bleeps, aren't we?
Yeah, there's got to be another name for this, right? Like,
let me see. I think I've heard of other names. How about we could call it Kiss, Marry, Kill, but that doesn't really give it the same meaning. I see one here.
No, Kiss doesn't go far enough.
I like Bang, Smash, or Dash. That's got to be the current generation.
Yeah.
Bang, Smash,
yeah,
Dash.
but that still doesn't.
Marry, Kill is kind of really it really sends it home what you're trying to do.
Yeah, I'll just edit this out so that we don't have an E. So anyway, yeah, don't worry about censorship here. I'll take care of that in post-production. So.
Okay, perfect.
All right, so let me start here, and this is your decision. I'm not. I'll just talk about my experiences at some of these, but you got to be the one to say marry or kill.
Okay,
all right,
I'll do my best, and I'll see if I can even give you a reason why. Some of them might just be, it's the wily desires of my heart. So we'll see what happens.
Okay, well, we're gonna start simple here. So the first one is the M&M's World and Coca-Cola store. I mean, this has got to be like the Mormon corner of Las Vegas. I mean, I can't tell you how many times I didn't know that there was anything else to Vegas for the longest time, because that was where my family went every year. So, marry or kill.
Okay, I do want to start off by saying I appreciate your commentary on that, because I've known Spencer for like half of my life now, it feels like. And the first time he came down here to visit with his brothers on his way to California, I met up with him where? The M&M Coca-Cola store. And what did we do? We went and we got a flight of all the weird, gross Cokes. That is like, it's so
you've had the Beverly.
Yeah, not good. I mean,
no.
The fact that some of those Cokes taste like cleaners,
mm-hmm.
Some of them taste like earthy water, some of them are too much floral action going on with all these foreign country Cokes. But anyway,
yeah.
The M&M store. Okay, here's my honest opinion. This might be a rough cut here, but I'm gonna say I'm gonna kill both of them.
Okay.
And the reason, and I know they're kind of grouped in, the reason I say kill is not because I don't like M&Ms. I have like a 5-pound bucket of peanut M&Ms in my cupboard right now, every night.
Oh, I'm the same way.
I drink Diet Coke every day.
Mm-hmm.
But those stores are just expensive and lame. I mean, you walk in there and there's a lot of memorabilia that you don't want or care about, because how much do you really want to wear an M&M's t-shirt? I know they're fun in the store, but are you about to pull out your M&M's t-shirt?
No, it's really funny because I'm actually like solidifying your point here. I just DI'd an M&M shirt that I bought.
Yes, sir. See, I appreciate. Look, we don't always have to see eye to eye, but I appreciate a little validation here.
Yeah.
And that's why I say kill, not because I don't support both of these brands, but because those stores, like, do I need a Diet Coke pillow? I don't, you know? And so it's just.
But
it's
when
one
you're
of
in
those
Vegas and you're on vacation,
you really, really, really want them.
hey, that would be the most comfortable pillow
Yes.
for the most ridiculous amount of money that I've ever had in my life.
So likely against popular opinion, I think I'm gonna have to say kill.
That all right. So we have our first kill. All right, second one, the Fountains of Bellagio. This is kind of, for me, this is kind of nostalgic. You know, after I can't remember exactly when it opened. I want to say like 93 or 94, but maybe a little bit later. But it seemed like every time we were in Vegas, we would cross the street, you know, from the Coke store and the M&M world, and
Exactly.
go watch the fountains while we're chowing down on our $16 M&Ms and $5 Cokes.
Yep.
So there's that nostalgia, but I don't know. Would you marry or kill?
Okay, I would say the fountains. Not to be too cliche about this, but there's something kind of romantic about them. I mean, they have been around a while. They are a bit of an institution. They're free, albeit they are surrounded by 24 people standing in circles trying to force you to take pictures and pay exorbitant amounts of money for them. But that said, you can still go there with your family, and I would say that that's going to land right in the Mary bucket. I mean, I love me some fountains. Serious. The Bellagio fountains are fantastic.
Yeah, I agree. And I'm totally there with you on, I got trapped by a clown in a wheelchair once.
Okay, tell me how the clown in the wheelchair trapped you.
Yes. Like, he made me a balloon animal, and before I knew it, he wanted $10 from me. And
So
luckily,
he made it for you. Did he hand it to you?
Yes, he handed it to
See,
me.
that's your problem. You shouldn't have taken it.
I know, but like,
Rookie mistake, Josh.
I mean, I didn't have a lot of practice in this, because how many times do clowns in wheelchairs hand you an animal balloon? I wasn't prepared
That's
for this.
why
They
his
don't
shtick
teach
is
this
so
in high
incredible.
school.
The guy's clever. I mean, that's honestly, he's considered this. He's got this down to a science, and you got worked.
Oh, I did.
You know what? Good for him. You should have given him money.
My name was Chuckles after that because of him. Out my $10. I mean, granted, I couldn't buy anything at the M&M store, so.
Nope, that's your M&M's budget gone.
Yeah. But you know, I'm there with you. I think Mary is a great way to look at the Bellagio. You know, sans the clowns. All right, third one, and I don't know if you've done this one. I actually have done this a couple of times, and I'd love your opinion on this. The Eiffel Tower viewing deck.
Yeah, we have done the Eiffel Tower viewing deck. Now, I will say, man, these are hard. I know there's no way out of them, but I want to give like my real opinion on these. And to get to the Eiffel Tower viewing deck, you have to go through the Paris Hotel, which is unfortunate.
Yeah.
Sorry, I only say that because every time it rains, the roof in the main like atrium area leaks, and it's just kind of a like, come on, guys.
Oh, was there
we
too?
We can do better than that. I mean, we're Las
Bally's.
Vegas.
I thought that was just Bally's.
No, it is all of Las Vegas. Las Vegas is the hottest like desert anywhere, and when it rains a few inches, everyone's like, wait a minute, is the world ending? And so yeah, it's just kind of we're just kind of falling apart over here. But the viewing deck is interesting because, say what you want about the Strip, say what you want about Las Vegas, it's kind of awesome. It's cool to be able to see, especially in the evening, those lights and the scenery. And I have to say, I don't know, Josh, I might that view.
Yeah, you're gonna it.
I think I'm it.
Okay. I don't blame you, because of all the perspectives of not just the Strip, but like the Bellagio fountains right below.
Oh my gosh, yeah.
It is beautiful at night.
It really is.
And it's a little windy and it's a little cold, but at the same time, like you just, I don't know about you, but I still get mesmerized at the lights on the strip every time I'm there.
Absolutely.
And yeah, I would totally it.
So far we're seeing eye to eye.
Yeah.
I feel like you and I should go and do some of this stuff together.
I know we should. Especially that Eiffel Tower viewing deck.
Yeah, exactly. Well,
so romantic. All right.
Okay, what's next on that list of yours?
The next one is Fremont Street.
Oh, man. Okay. I'm going to tell you right now, all day long, Fremont Street. There are absolutely polarizing views on Fremont Street. One, it's dangerous, it's dirty, let's be honest, kind of full of homeless people, which is concerning just for a couple of reasons if you're trying to go around there with like your family. And so there's that. Then there's the side of that's like quintessential tourist trappy fun to look at and just be in the middle of it for 30 minutes, an hour, and then kind of go off back to reality. I think that is a place that everybody should visit. First of all, one, right on or directly next to Fremont Street is some of the best food in Las Vegas.
Really?
There are some seriously awesome places all within a block of Fremont Street.
Like
it's
what
like
kind of food?
There. We have pizza, we have Mexican food. There's and when I say pizza, I'll send you a couple of links. Good Pie is there, which is one of the better pizzas I've had in Las Vegas. And I can't remember the name of the other one that I like even more. Of course, when you put me on the spot, my brain goes away. But two of the best pizza joints that I've had ever, let alone, and again, I'm not talking in the world, but in Las Vegas are right there on Fremont. So anyway, the zip line, the giant Slotzilla zip line is awesome when you're just sitting there tooling around and you see people flying overhead. The big screen that goes over the top of your head and covers the entire street. The fact that my wife and I went to Fremont Street in last August and watched the All-American Rejects play for free just in the street. I mean, Fremont Street all day long. It is awesome.
All right. We're going to it. You know, I haven't had those kind of experiences with Fremont Street. And I haven't necessarily had bad experiences like I've heard. But
there's lots of stories. And I haven't had bad ones either. I'm sure there's a whole other side. But we've been there quite a few times and it's been fun.
Yeah, because the one thing I do remember, the last time that I really took the time to kind of walk around, is there is some pretty good food. Like even if you're into the kind of the carnival food, because there were a couple places there that had like the fried Oreos, the fried Twinkies.
Oh yeah, definitely.
And it definitely has.
It's one of the only $5.99 steak dinners you can still get in Las Vegas, because those used to be everywhere on driving through town. They were on every billboard north and south of Las Vegas, but now one of the only ones is right there on Fremont, and some might frown upon that, but come on, everyone's got to try it once in their life.
I think I need that in my life. Yeah. Oh man, we need to just plan.
I'm telling you, we could just have a good old time.
Oh man, we totally would. Okay, so we're in Fremont Street. Okay.
Can't wait for the sound bites.
I know. I'm like, hope my mom's not listening. All right, next one, High Roller at the Links.
Okay, I haven't done the High Roller, but I will tell you two quick things. One, I have always wanted to do it from the first time I ever saw it. I think it's amazing, and I know that they have I don't remember what it's called, but it's the same idea of that huge Ferris wheel in London, and it's the same thing. They just have it in downtown London, and it's the same idea as the High Roller. And I think that that idea of getting in these giant viewing like rooms, it's a Ferris wheel for those of you who don't know, but the little gondolas are the size of like a large room that you can fit 20 people in, and they have a bar in there. I don't necessarily have a lot of interest in the bar piece, but being able to be in that and rotating around, I think it takes an hour to get all the way around and back.
Yeah, if I
think
remember
doing
correctly, it was about an hour, 45 minutes, if something around there.
And doing that and going around in the evening with like the sunset or when those lights are coming on. Again, a lot of Las Vegas really, I mean, for lack of a better term, kind of lights up at night, because in the daytime, Las Vegas is great and all, but it really is just a big desert. So once it's dark and those lights come on or the sun starts going behind the mountains, it has got to just be absolutely beautiful. So before I answer, have you done it?
Yes, I've done it thrice.
Okay, tell me what your thoughts are before I give my answer.
So I've had 3 different kind of experiences with it. The first time it was like, okay, this is really cool. Like the scenery and everything was awesome, enjoying it. The second time I did it, it was at sunset.
Oh gosh,
so it was magnificent.
That's what I'm talking about. Oh.
Las Vegas sunsets are amazing.
They're so pretty.
And
I mean, look, Las Vegas really is brown. It's just kind of gross. But and I say all of Nevada is, but when the sun starts setting and the sky is blue and pink and purple and orange, and I mean, the mountains turn colors. Oh my goodness. I get what you're saying. And especially when the sun is setting and you're watching the lights turn on the strip. Mm-hmm.
Yeah. Oh my gosh. Like, it was an experience. And then the third time I went, we were in the same pod with a family that just let their kids run amok. And
so you were trapped.
We were trapped, and they were throwing popcorn all over the place.
That's where you can really just turn this from a 5-star review to a 1-star.
I know, exactly.
I have kids. That's still annoying.
But I can't tell you how many dagger looks I gave the parents or tried to, where I'm like, control your heathens. Yeah, but that kind of ruined the moment a little bit, even though the view was great. But yeah, you don't know who you're going to be in those pods with. That was kind of a downer. But honestly, I mean, if I'm going to grade this, it would be somewhere between, between an Fit or Marriott.
I was just going to say, I knew you were leaning towards marrying it. You can't not when you've had an experience like your sunset experience. I mean, that's insane.
Yeah.
And now, I mean, and let's add on now. I don't know if you've done it since the Sphere has been there, but now it's one of the best places to see the Sphere, and the Sphere is pretty incredible.
All the pictures I've seen of the Sphere, I'm like, that's not real life.
It is unreal. Driving by on the freeway. I mean, it is seriously. I mean, they've started getting smart with things. They have ads running on it, which is like, duh, they're going to make $1 billion doing that. But when they have their little scenes that they put on there, the eyeball, the pumpkin, the basketball, whatever it is unbelievable. And when you're driving by it, it doesn't look like real life. So I have to say, even just for that, I'm going to have to roll. I'll jump in there with you. There's something, I would say marry, but there's something about it where, yeah, man, right in between marry and F it.
Okay. All right. Marry it. Okay. Man, we really do need to do Vegas together.
So for anyone listening, even though we're 2 guys that would happily go on this date together and enjoy ourselves, I'm sure many women would as well. So, I mean,
yes.
For all the dads, I mean, we're giving some good pointers here.
Right. All right. Next one, Pinball Hall of Fame.
Haven't done the Pinball Hall of Fame, my friend.
Really?
I haven't. I'm going to have to lean back on you I know about it. There's a lot of these little places in Las Vegas that are still on my list from having lived here that I just haven't had the time to get to yet, but I've heard that it's pretty rad.
See, and I think it also depends on whether or not you grew up playing pinballs.
With pinball.
I mean, granted, they don't have all pinball machines. They also have some arcade games and everything.
Sure.
So you might
I'm a sucker for any arcade, and even though I didn't grow up with pinball as my classic, anytime I see a pinball machine ever, to this day, I walk up and I pull the plunger 5 or 6 times and I look at the theme and I check it out. I love pinball.
Oh, yeah.
I mean, absolutely love it.
Yeah, and this has gosh, literally everything. I've been to a couple times, well, about 3 times, 4 times maybe. Just because one, it's free to enter, so there's no admission fee whatsoever,
which is awesome. Yeah.
And it literally takes quarters. So you're
so good.
It's a quarter, 50 cents, whatever per game, and it has everything. It feels like it has everything from like the 50s and 60s to
So cool.
even current
Old mechanical
pinball machines. Oh yeah, and I grew up. My parents owned a baseball card shop back in the early 90s, and our number one moneymaker was actually our arcade games, because
that's interesting.
So I grew up with pinball machines and everything, and so when I was touring it the first time and I found my favorite pinball machine, it's the Addams Family Values pinball machine from like the mid 90s, right? And I just sat there and I think I burnt through like $10 worth of quarters because it just brought me back to that. So
yeah, but that's one of those things where you have to understand what you just said. Burning through $10 in quarters isn't something that people even bat an eye at anymore. If you walk into Dave & Buster's, not without quarters, because nothing takes quarters, you swipe your stupid card everywhere. You can go through $10 in 2 plays of a lame arcade game.
True.
And so the fact that you can sit there and play with $10 for an extended amount of time is part of what I can already tell you makes this probably gonna the pinball museum, just for the sake that you actually can go there and have a good time for less than $100.
Yes, and that's where I would lean toward my grade, is like, as much as you want to marry it, you know, that's a side piece, man. And you're
always going back to it.
Mm-hmm. Yeah. Always going back. So, but yeah, so I definitely would the Pinball Hall of Fame, but you've got to go.
I'm with you on that. Oh yeah, for sure. Well, sorry, we've got to go, right?
Yes, we've got to go.
Okay, see, there we go.
All right. Next one, we have 2 more here, really quick. Okay. The Neon Museum. Have you done this? I have not done this.
I haven't either, and it's one of the things, like I said, I have an actual list on my phone of this stuff, and I've seen pictures of this place, and just like you, and I think we both know where we're headed with this. You and I both are suckers for these lights.
Oh yeah.
And we're talking about lights like all the current stuff. Old school Las Vegas with actual neon signs, these big signs that you see in, you know, when they make classic movies about Vegas. I mean, those are real signs, and they're all out in this, like, I don't want to call them a junkyard, but they're all kind of outside in this place I've seen, and they light them up, and I really want to go and check it out, because that is just got to be a sight to see.
Oh, yeah. And I am like a moth to the lights of Las Vegas. I just draw right to them. And yeah, Neon Museum, I feel like I'd want to go back and back. So I feel like it would be a Mary.
You know what? I haven't even done it. And just while we're talking about it, I'm looking at pictures of it during the day and the night. I mean, dude, the Hard Rock guitar. We're talking as tall as a building. The Stardust sign. I remember some of these signs from driving through Nevada when I was little. Holy cow. These are the Sahara sign, the Golden Nugget. I mean, these signs that I'm looking at, I mean, these are the giant signs that were on top of these hotels that were just institutions in Las Vegas. I got to tell you, this looks absolutely unbelievable. I think I can agree. I keep going back to, when I think about marrying, I keep going back to the idea of it being like romantic. Like there's a little bit more to it than that, just like physical attraction when you're talking about something, right?
Right.
I would agree with you. I think this is a marry for sure.
Yeah, I agree. And I'm like, this is such a quick trip that I'm taking to Vegas at the end of the month, but I'm like, I need to go do that. And
the problem is you want to do a lot of it specifically, like we've talked about, at nighttime. And so there's even less of that.
Yes.
But that's what's cool about your race, is that you're going to be running it in the evening. And the whole point of it is that it lights up the strip, which is really cool. That is so awesome.
Yes. Oh, it's so much fun. Okay. Last one.
Let's see it.
And I think I pretty much know what you're going to say on this because I know exactly what I'm going to say.
Let's see.
The Strats.
Oh, I wonder if you know what I'm going to say. I am very curious what you're going to say. So, and the reason that I say this, I almost don't know where I sit on this one. And I say that because the Strat is in like the scariest part of town.
It's Naked City, right?
Yeah. If you've ever walked around at the bottom of the Strat, it's sketchy. Look, there's lots of places in Las Vegas like that, but this is not the Strip anymore. This is out there, and it's a little worrisome, just depending, especially on the time of day. So when the lights are on the Strip, don't go walking around the Strat. It's not going to be a good time.
Don't go to the Jack in the Box either. Any time of the day.
Yeah. I think the Strat is cool because it's tall and it looks like it looks, which is ridiculous. I mean, it's like the Seattle Space Needle, but it's this hotel. I think it's cool because off the top of it, you have this like weird 20-foot long roller coaster that all it really does is kind of tip you off the edge, and you don't really go anywhere. It kind of tips you off the edge. But all in all, if I were to give the Strat a category, not F, Marry, Kill, but just of what I classified as, it's kind of the whole thing is like a dirty carnival ride, and I'm gonna go with I'm okay with killing that. Like I don't know that it's that worth it to have around.
Yeah, I was gonna kill it.
Okay, there we go. I was gonna say if you loved the Strat, we are not gonna match up on that.
And part of that was about 10 or 12 years ago, my family spent 5 nights at the Strat.
That 5 nights, man. Now 10 or 12 years ago was a different time, but
but not much because it was way too long. And the only reason why we stayed there for so long, I mean, I almost felt like we were residents at that point. I mean, like you could have called us Las Vegans.
Sure.
Because that's a long time to stay at the Strat.
It is.
It was interesting because not only is it sketchy, I think there's I don't know if it was an IHOP or Denny's, I can't remember, but I remember taking that trek from the hotel to the diner, and I'm like, I probably should just call like my mom to have her pick us up because I don't think we're gonna make it back alive.
Yeah,
and then of course we had room service walk in on us twice.
Interesting. Just rolled right on in the room, huh?
Yeah, I mean, they knocked it first, and then, you just don't pay attention. Like, I mean, especially with those kind of doors, like you hear everything anyway. So it could just be a room down the hallway. But it was just not a good experience. The only reason why we're there is because my brother was there for a basketball tournament, and
the rooms are $14 a night.
Exactly. It was the cheapest thing. And it was the cheapest thing.
I'll say it probably, to those who may disagree, it probably depends on your stage in life. I think now that I have a wife and kids, it's probably not where I want to be with them. But if I was a young college student just trying to go to Las Vegas, I think the Strat's kind of it's got its place for sure.
Yeah,
for people coming and trying to enjoy themselves that can't afford the penthouse.
Right. Yeah, I mean, you'll get an experience either way.
Yes, you will.
So, all right. So, just to summarize what we have here. The M&M's World and Coca-Cola store got a kill.
Now, before we go on, I want to ask you, that's the one you didn't tell me. Do you agree with that, or are you on the opposite end of the spectrum here?
Honestly, over the past couple of years, it's become more of a kill. It used to be an fit.
Sure.
I don't know. The M&M store has gotten less and less cool over the years.
Exactly.
Because it's just, especially when you're paying $15-$20 for not even a full size thing of M&Ms.
I was gonna say the 75-cent bag at the store is $12 in the M&M store, and I can't get behind it.
Yep, and it's just as magical, if not more.
Okay, go ahead.
But so kill both of those. Fountains of Bellagio is a Mary. The Eiffel Tower viewing deck is an fit. Fremont Street fit. High Roller at the Links, Mary. Pinball Hall of Fame, the Neon Museum, Marriott, and the Strat, Kill It.
Yep, there we are.
Okay, so there you go. There is your Las Vegas guide to marry or kill.
In our E-rated show.
Yes, on an E-rated show. Casey, thank you so much for spending some time with me on the show.
Absolutely, it was a pleasure. I'm excited. Spencer's got a little time off. I'm excited that I'll be joining you guys back again.
So you'll be joining us in a couple of weeks.
Yeah.
And you were mentioning you have a Disneyland story for us. So
I know you guys well enough to understand that a Disneyland story is going to get a little bit of attention. So I'll just put that one in my pocket, and in a couple of weeks we'll chat about it.
Well, that's called a tease. So anyway.
Yes, sir.
All right, man. Well, enjoy all the rest of the Las Vegas festivities and staying away from them and everything. So, anyway, yeah, we'll see you in a couple weeks.
All right. Thanks, Josh.
Spencer, do you know what is the worst?
I-15 rush hour?
Well, yes, absolutely. But it's specifically when you're driving along on the freeway and you get behind one of those trucks. Like specifically one of those dump trucks, right?
Oh, yeah.
And before you can get out from behind that dump truck, one of those rocks from the back of the truck slings up, hits your windshield, and boom, you got a chip, right? I absolutely hate it. Now, if you're like me, you watch that chip gradually grow from a little chip to a whole long crack that just goes along that whole windshield. I hate it. I hate dealing with it. I hate looking at it. It's just such a hassle.
Luckily, you can use our friends at Ashby Agency and Associates. They're backed by American Family Insurance, and they can help you with that crack.
Thank you.
AmFam offers $0 comprehensible deductibles, which means there's no out-of-pocket cost for that windshield. Additionally, you can customize your discount based on how you drive and save as much as 20% on your auto insurance with Drive My Way. And for the most savings, bundle your home or renter's policies with your auto, camper, umbrella, ATV, UTV, motorcycle, boat, snowmobile, business, and even life insurance policies. Let the insurance advisors at Ashby Agency and Associates help you save today.
Call Monday through Friday, 9 a.m. to 5 p.m. at 385-383-3117. Again, that's 385-383-3117. Insure carefully, dream fearlessly. American Family Insurance. We're really going to have to work on that last part.
Uh-huh.
All right, guys, welcome back to the other show. Man, we're going on an hour and a half right now, and I think it's time to wrap things up. But before I do, I want to do two things. First off, thank you to everybody who joined me today. My friends. I needed a friend today. I didn't want to do this show solo. So major props to my wife, to Brian, and to Casey. It's been a fun show, and I've really appreciated it. But secondly, I want to take some time, since we're over an hour and a half, what's a few more minutes, to say thank you to our patrons. I want to thank each and every one of you for the contributions that you not only give to us, but it's more so the faith and belief that you have in us and what we're trying to do with the other show. So major thank you to our contributors, friends of the show, every tier. I'm going to just list you all by name. So major thank you to our $5 tier, which is the friends of the show. So thank you, Mikey. Thank you, Jess. Thank you, Cheryl. So they are $5 a month. They get the weekly, the other show, which happens every week. It's when we push record. It's usually about 10 or 15 minutes long. But as I've mentioned before in this show, this week's is about an hour and a half because it is my wife and my meeting story in Disneyland. But otherwise, you get the 10 or 15 minute off the cuff shows. Now, also the $15 a month tier, the More Than Friends tier. Major thank you to Jaden and Glenn Berry, Jennifer Stoddard, Lord and Lady Snarfingham, Marianne Hansen, my beautiful wife, Melanie Milring, and of course, Paula Greenwell Mullis. So thank you. They not only get the other show, but they also get the monthly bonus episodes as well. So that is the $15 a month tier. And then, of course, we have the Friends with Benefits tier. These guys, well, first off, $25 a month or above. There are only 12 spots because these are essentially our advisors for the other show. We like to get their opinion on what they'd like to see, what they'd like to hear, what they'd like us to focus on. So major thank you to them. Not only do they get the other show, they also get the monthly bonus episodes, but each quarter they also get to be a part of the live show, the other live show, which is a live Q&A, ask anything that they want. Also, the More Than Friends will get an edited version of that show, but the Friends with Benefits get to be on that show live, ask us anything. So, plus it comes with a lot of cool swag and a lot of cool other perks, which you can check out on Patreon at patreon.com/theothershow. But I want to thank each and every one of these amazing people. First off, Rick Smith. Thank you, Rick, so much. The one, the only Chris Anderson. Lady Terry A. Finley. Brandon Monson. You know what? I've been meaning to call Brandon. I would love to get his opinion on everything that's been going on with the baseball team, with the A's, possibly moving here to Salt Lake temporarily. And you know what? I think I could give him a call. I'm going to give him a quick little call here.
Hey, good afternoon. This is Brandon.
Brandon, hey, it's Josh. How you doing, man?
Josh, what's going on, man?
Hey, man, okay, first off, I need to let you know, I am recording the other show. You're on the other show. I hope that you're okay with that.
Wow, what a privilege.
I'm actually doing the show right now because I'm doing the solo show, and I thought, you know what? I should just read our patrons. And then I got thinking, maybe I should call some of them, right? Because I need a friend. Anyway, I really wanted to call and talk to you about all the sports stuff that is going on in Utah.
Oh my gosh, can you believe it?
Oh, I don't even know where to start because there's baseball and there's hockey. But what do you think of all of this? Do you think that the A's are going to move even temporarily here to Salt Lake, to South Jordan?
Oh my gosh, that would be awesome if they did. You know, we've been sitting here. Of course, I live out in the Harriman area, not too far from where you guys are. So, you know, when I drive down Bangerter and I look over and I see the big tractors and everything moving dirt around there, man, I can't wait. I mean, what did they say? They'd be ready for the 2025 season?
2025 season. And the plan right now is for the Bees to move in 2025. But the Oakland A's, just to speed everybody up here, I guess, the Oakland A's, their lease ends next year in Oakland. The plan has been to move to Vegas, but they're not going to have their stadium ready until at least 2028. So
right.
They're kind of homeless in that regard. There are a couple of ballparks in Vegas. Cashman Field's too small, too old, really. And then they have the Las Vegas ballpark where their minor league team plays. And I can't remember what the issues with that are, mainly other than it's minor league, and they would have to share the stadium with their minor league team, where if they came somewhere to Utah, they would have the luxury of having two stadiums, one where the Bees would...
Yeah.
I think the plan would be for the Bees to stay at Smith's Ballpark for a couple of years, and then the A's to be at South Jordan.
Yeah, it sounds like the stars are like perfectly aligning. I think we've got like a 33 and a third chance that's going to happen. I know, like you said, there are other ballparks that they're taking a look at. One, I think, that is in Sacramento, which would at least keep, the A's there in the Bay Area there.
Mm-hmm.
It would keep the television rights there. Obviously, that's kind of home to them. So, I mean, that would make a lot of sense. And I know they looked in Vegas at the the Aviators Stadium.
Yeah, it's really funny because Las Vegas the naming rights to that ballpark are Las Vegas, like the Las Vegas tourism agency or whatever actually bought the naming rights. So yeah, it's just Las Vegas Ballpark, which 50 years ago would just be the Las Vegas Ballpark because that's where it's. Anyway, I'm geeking out over here, but
no, but that would make sense too, because that way they don't have to really relocate the team twice.
Mm-hmm.
But when you see what the Larry Miller Group has done and what Ryan Smith has done to really go out, I mean, they were talking about the other day how the A's front office has been here to Utah quite a few times to kind of look at the facilities. And I think you're right. They did look at the facilities at Smith's Ballpark where the Bees are now, which I don't know if is kind of a bigger ballpark than what this new ballpark is going to be. And that's one of the things I don't think people understand.
Yeah.
I thought when they first said that they were going to build a stadium out here, that it was going to be at least the size of what Smith's Ballpark is. Now, I know Smith's Ballpark holds about 14,500 and change.
Mm-hmm.
But this new ballpark is really more kind of an intimate ballpark. It's only going to hold 7,500 people, and that includes like club and field level seats.
Yeah.
So, I mean, to have the Oakland A's come, and that's the facility I think that they're really looking at right now, because it's, again, going to be a brand new facility, and they can make any changes that they need to right now to facilitate them for the next few years. But, man, can you imagine having all of these major league teams come in? Who cares about the A's? I'm not going to wear an A's hat, but, to have all of these major league teams coming through in such a small facility, small and intimate, man, that gets me jazzed up. I'll tell you that.
Well, and then just the fact that the stadium is going to be less than 2 miles away from my house.
Seriously.
That excites me. Just even the thought, even if it's just for 2 or 3 years, just having Major League Baseball literally down the road from me. Oh my gosh.
That's less than those 5Ks you run on the weekend, man. You can just
I could just run over there. That would be perfect.
You and Blue could do a podcast right there from the stadium.
Run to the A's.
There you go.
Oh, man. But see, and here's the thing, though. Before we kind of go to hockey, because there's some hockey news here, too, that I want to pick your brain with. But with the A's, I don't know, and it's not a done deal yet, that they're going to be moving to Las Vegas.
Right.
And just even today, so we're recording this on Tuesday, but just today, the mayor of Las Vegas came out and said that the A's should work something out with Oakland and stay there.
I mean, saw that.
That's not a great endorsement.
Yeah, in fact, I think she said something to the fact that, hey, it's going to kind of gum up the strip right there at that area. It was supposed to be in a location that's a little further south, but it's going to be where the Tropicana is going to be bulldozed. But I think she kind of walked that back a little bit after she said, that they've got to figure out a way to stay in Oakland. But then I think she came back and said, "Hey, you know what? I don't want to send the wrong message. We still want them. We still want Major League Baseball, but yeah, I thought that was kind of weird that she would come out and say something like that."
Yeah. Well, and I'm just reading her statement, and she said that I was interviewed for the Front Office Sports podcast. It's one of the many interviews about the rise of Major League Sports in Las Vegas and how this weekend's Super Bowl is a milestone in my and my former mayor, Oscar Goodman's pursuit of sports teams for Las Vegas. We discussed several topics, including the Oakland A's, for about 7 minutes. I love how precise she is in this. And I mentioned the passionate fans of Oakland who often visit our city to cheer on the Raiders. My points included that it is my belief that in their perfect world, the ownership of the A's would like to have a new ballpark on the water in Oakland, and that the ownership and government there should listen to their great fans and try to make that dream come true. Should that fail, Las Vegas has shown that it is a spectacular market for Major League sports franchises. That didn't really change much in what she was saying.
No, I don't think so.
No.
I don't think so.
So it's...
But heck, we'll take them.
Yeah,
we'll take them any day.
And see, and that's the thing is, I think that the Miller Group, right, this big campaign that they've done here in Salt Lake, there have been billboards along the corridor, the I-15 corridor, that said Utah wants the A's.
Right.
I don't think those are statements of just a temporary stay in Utah. I think the Miller Group is playing to either purchase or help move the A's here permanently.
You know, I think you're right with that, but this is a great opportunity for them to just kind of dip their toe in the water.
Yeah.
And see how things are to go. And heck, it may backfire on us. I hope it doesn't. If they do come here, I hope that people come out in droves to try to help support that team. And even if it's not just for a short period of time, and show Major League Baseball that the Utah and Salt Lake City really is a major league town. I hope that happens.
Yeah. Well, and the same thing with the Smith Group. Just to hit this kind of, with this bird with two stones. Or no, two birds with one stone.
You go.
I never was good with sayings. Anyway, with the Smith Group, just in the past week or so, he's come out and basically publicly has told the NHL, the National Hockey League, hey, we're ready for a team here in Utah. Whether it's expansion, whether it's relocated, we can host a team starting next year. The Delta Center would be a temporary home, much like South Jordan or whatever, much bigger, of course, but it's not meant for professional hockey. The sightlines are horrible and everything. And I mean, we don't have to talk about the Islanders playing in Brooklyn to that point. But essentially, Ryan Smith is ready to bring in a hockey team. And the NHL right now is at 32 teams, which is a great number for sports leagues.
It's the perfect number, yeah.
Yeah. It works with scheduling and everything and all that. So expansion, especially for hockey, I don't see that happening. But honestly, I think this is a play for the Arizona Coyotes.
Right. And, they're kind of in trouble down there in Arizona right now. They really haven't had the turnout. The attendance has been down. In fact, the facility that they're playing in, I believe, is a facility on one of the university campuses down there.
Yeah, Arizona State.
And that only holds 5,000 people, if that.
Mm-hmm.
And, they just haven't been able to get it off the ground. And, one of the things I have to say about this is I'm not as excited about that as I am baseball, obviously.
Well, but I wouldn't expect you to be.
But, I played a little hockey growing up.
Mm-hmm.
I worked for the Grizzlies at one point for a couple of years. It was a year or two after they went back to back. And the last years that they were in the Delta Center. And again, that was at the peak, if you ask me, of the Grizzlies at that point.
Mhm.
And to be honest, Josh, they were only getting 10 to 12,000 in the building every night. And I know at the E Center or Maverick Center or whatever it is today, even that facility isn't sold out. You can get pretty good seats anytime.
Yeah.
So I wonder if we have the capacity and really the excitement from people to be able to support a team like that. What do you think?
I it's hard because can you gauge minor league hockey with professional hockey? Because
Right.
I won't lie, I try to keep up with minor league players that come here and play. And it's hard because they're always moving, whether it's the Bees, the Grizzlies, whoever it is. So it's hard to be rooted in a team because I root for the players as well.
Right.
So it's hard to say, but I think also the way it's going to work, or the way it needs to work here in Utah, is the hockey team has to be owned by the Jazz, has to be owned by Ryan Smith. Because
I would say if anyone could do it,
Mhm.
it's Ryan Smith. Obviously, he's got the bankroll to be able to
Yeah.
take care of that as well.
Because a new arena will come with them, and not just for the team, but for the Jazz as well. And there's been a lot of talk about having an arena down at the Point of the Mountain over by the old prison site.
Right.
So again, closer to me,
Yeah,
closer
exactly.
to us, right? So it's interesting, it's exciting. I'm not going to hold my breath for any of this, but I see the positioning that's happening here, and I think that's exciting enough, especially with the Olympics coming in 10 years. It's exciting. And I really want I really become a Golden Knights fan over the past 6 years. So to be able to have a team up here would be amazing. Whatever they're called, whether they bring back the Golden Eagles name, whether they go with I've heard the Utah Yeti as a possible nickname for a team, which I would totally be for. But whatever it is, I have really kind of grown to love and appreciate hockey. Even if I
Right.
don't fully understand it, I love watching it.
Sure. And again, it's just being able to take a franchise like that, because I think it would have to be something like the Coyotes brought in. I don't think it would be very successful if it was an expansion team.
No.
And again, with that 32 number out there, which is really the perfect number for the amount of teams, I really do think that it would have to be an expansion team, and they'd have to do a lot of marketing and really make it part of the community for it to be successful.
Well, and just to kind of go back to baseball really quick, baseball is currently at 30 teams. They are looking to expand by 2 to that magical 32 number. And Salt Lake is in the running for one of those two teams.
Right.
So,
Nashville, I think, is another one of them that's in the running as well.
But if it doesn't work in Oakland, if it doesn't work in Las Vegas, in a way, I would much rather have the A's than an expansion team, just because of everything that goes with an expansion team, because they stink for years on end. Granted, the A's aren't that hot right now anyway, but I'd rather have an established brand than start from scratch. So anyway, I don't know. I could talk about sports all night. I've already talked a lot of sports because we talked about the Super Bowl earlier in the show. So sorry, Spencer. I know that I don't let you talk about sports, but you know what? You're not here.
Yeah, exactly. And you know what? Before we hop off the line today, and I appreciate you calling me. It's been fun to.
I could talk to you all night.
Oh, and we'll have to get together and do that. But I do want to say a shout out to Spencer and his beautiful family and that new addition that they've got. I'm sure he'll be listening to this, and just wanted to wish him and his family the best.
Oh, I agree. Same. I'm so happy for them. So
yeah.
Well, anyway, I don't want to take up all your night, but thank you so much for hopping on this. Thank you for talking with me.
Hey, it's always a pleasure. It's always fun to get together and do this.
I needed a friend this episode since Kenny and Spencer left me. So,
well, call me anytime.
Okay, I will definitely.
All right, and we'll catch you at the ballpark.
Yes. All right. Talk to you later.
We'll see you.
Okay, that was an awesome phone call. Unexpected, Brandon. Thank you so much. Back to the list of our amazing contributors. Would also like to thank the other Brit, Johnny English. That's Jonathan Vascar. Also, a big thank you to Dave Kelly. I'm going to give Dave a call as well. If there's one thing that this show has been missing, and it's because of the absence of Spencer, but there's been no mention of wieners. I'm going to give Dave a call really quick.
Hey, Josh.
Well, that kind of scared me, man. I'm like, how did you know I was calling you? But then I'm thinking, wait a second. Caller ID is a thing these days, huh?
And the Holy Ghost.
And the Holy Ghost. Okay. Well, okay. Hey, I just wanted to let you know I'm actually recording the other show right now. And Spencer's gone. Kenny's gone.
Wait, Spencer's gone?
Well, no. He's here. He just had a baby. Don't worry.
Oh, okay.
This isn't August of 2021 all over again.
Okay.
But with him gone, with me doing a solo show because Kenny is on vacation, I just was thinking, I'm just going to read the patron names. I'm going to call some random patrons. And I came across your name and I'm thinking, I should call Dave. Because we haven't gotten our weekly reference about wieners from Spencer. So...
Wieners? Love wieners.
Wieners? Yeah. Okay, thanks. All right, talk to you later. Bye.
Okay, bye.
Thank you, wieners. All right, another big thank you to Karen Robinson. Also... KP Brown, big thank you to you. And all right, let's call KP. Let me dial his number here. All right.
Hello?
Hey, KP.
Hey. Oh.
Yeah.
Scam likely. I accidentally answered it.
I was going to say, I'm like, that's probably why nobody else has answered.
I'm glad I accidentally answered that.
Well, I'm actually calling from a different phone a different phone number than I usually use, but I'm actually recording the other show right now. And I'm just kind of calling other patrons. I mean, as you probably have heard, Spencer has had another kid. Kenny is off on vacation. So I'm doing this
slackers.
Solo. Yeah, I'm doing this show solo. And I'm just trying to call and talk to some friends, really. So
cool. Who have you talked to so far?
Well, talked to Brandon Monson and talked to...
Oh, cool.
A few other people, and
anything interesting you're talking about?
Yeah, so we've just been talking about little people
experience in Disneyland themselves with a little person.
So have I.
Well, we've heard yours.
Well, yes. I mean, you have heard mine. Did this happen at Club 33 as well?
No, I've never been in, unfortunately, but it was a celebrity.
Okay. Yeah. Let's hear it. I'm interested.
This is when my daughter was actually pretty young, and my wife was there for a dance thing, and they just happened to bump into Peter Dinklage.
Oh.
Back at the time, he was pretty much only known as the angry elf.
Okay. I know the time period that you're talking about. Mm-hmm.
And so my daughter, who is really, really young, she saw him and she looks at my wife and goes, "Why is he so small?" And my wife just kind of looked over at him and said, "I don't know. Why don't you go ask him?" And he just kind of straightened himself up with he had that look like it was just kind of, hey, I'm glad that you're, acknowledging that I'm a person, basically, and just basically treating me like a normal person. And my daughter took one look at him and turned around and ran. So my wife looked at him and kind of shrugged her shoulders, and he kind of shrugged his shoulders, and she went after my daughter.
Oh, that's funny. I actually, now that I'm thinking about it, that kind of reminds me of another run-in I had with a little person. Do you remember Wee Man from Jackass?
Oh no! Of course, this is where you would end up, right?
Oh no, I can't remember if I've ever told this story on the other show. I haven't.
Not that I know of.
Okay, this was hilarious. So this was about 15, 16 years ago, and I was a college student. And during spring break, we went down to New Orleans for Habitat for Humanity to help build homes and everything after Katrina. And we decided, because we were just this kind of group of essentially Mormon kids, so we wanted to get the New Orleans experience. And so we decided one night to go down to Bourbon Street because that's what you did in New Orleans. And anyway, it was a group of us and some very, very conservative girls. I felt kind of
Bourbon Street.
Yeah, I felt kind of bad because I felt like I led some of these girls down to like the very gates of hell. Because they were shell-shocked, right? We went to dinner, and then we went and walked Bourbon Street, and we take a few steps out of one of these places that we went into, and there's Wee Man, right? And he's drunk. Like, he is drunk, probably had half a beer, kind of drunk. For a little person, that's a lot. So
not a Utah beer.
No, not a Utah beer. Definitely not a Utah beer. And man, those New Orleans Slurpees down there, holy cow, those will knock you off your feet too. But anyway, we run into Wee Man, and obviously, I don't know how the girls recognized him. Because I'm like, are you sure you're watching Jackass? But one of the girls started talking to him, and Wee Man, being drunk, just, "Show me your titties," just yelling. He had his beads in his hand and everything, and that girl just froze in her tracks because she couldn't believe that this celebrity, this man, was requesting such an act. So, sitting there for a split awkward second, I decided to kind of step in and save the day by flashing Wee Man instead of this poor girl. And yeah, I earned some beads that night from Wee Man.
Nice.
Yeah, it was quite the experience. I felt so bad for that girl though, because she hated Bourbon Street. That was anyway. But yeah, that's kind of my celebrity little person, kind of
experience right there.
Experience. Yeah. I mean, other than, many, I guess, yeah, I've had quite a few experiences, but
Say, you're reminding me of something, Josh.
What's that?
Mardi Gras coming up. I need to make me some gumbo.
Ooh, I actually love gumbo, and I've actually made it. I've actually made it a couple times. Have you made it?
Yeah, I do the Disneyland. I have the Disneyland recipe just because it was the easiest one to find.
Well, and it's the easiest one to make because when you look at all of the gumbo recipes out there, it's like, I don't know, where do I get, the toe of an alligator? It's just not readily available.
It took me a while to actually track down gumbo filet.
Oh, see, I still don't know if I've ever found that. But no,
Amazon's amazing.
Oh gosh, speaking of gumbo and speaking of celebrities, it kind of reminded me of Happy Gilmore, and I was thinking just of Carl Weathers as well, and his recent passing. I don't know if I'm sure you've heard and everything.
Oh yeah,
but he's kind of I don't know. What do you think about Carl Weathers? Were you a big fan of his? I know that he's been in a lot of things recently, especially like The Mandalorian, but I don't know. What are some of your thoughts?
I was never, I never thought, a ton about him, but as he passed, I started looking back and I actually really, really liked him and kind of got a chance to look at his life. And he's actually kind of a cool guy. I didn't realize that he was a big advocate in like the Big Brother organization.
Mm-hmm.
He was in the Olympic Committee. He was a huge advocate for helping people in sports and stuff. And you just think about throughout his life, he kind of was a trendsetter in his career.
Yeah. Yeah, he definitely was. I think I don't know, in the tiering of athletes turned actors,
mm-hmm.
I can't say for certain if he would be the top, like actor, former athlete, but he's definitely up there in at least the top, 5.
Oh, definitely, yeah.
Everything from what he was able to do with The Mandalorian, with Grief Karga, to Happy Gilmore, obviously Apollo
Hey, don't forget
Creed.
that the most iconic handshake in movie history with Arnold Schwarzenegger in Predator.
Oh my gosh. Yeah, I was going to say Predator. He even was, even before he got the part in Rocky, he had bit roles in like Starsky and Hutch, Kung Fu. And then obviously, I haven't said this yet because this is probably my favorite role, but I loved him in Arrested Development.
That is my favorite role of his.
Yeah. Oh my gosh. Essentially he is a characterization of himself in Arrested Development, which plays off so well and with so many, there's so many inside jokes and so many things that we could bring up about Arrested Development that you're thinking, oh, that was Carl Weathers? But, oh my gosh.
I did see the coolest little story about him on Arrested Development because the creators were looking at, they were bringing him on and they were going to have him on for a couple of episodes. And I remember reading about the idea was, hey, we'll have him on and we'll do this extended like a joke centered around like Rocky 3 and the whole training montage and everything.
Oh.
And the first thing he said when he came on is, this isn't going to be a bunch of Rocky jokes, is it? The creators are like, no, not at all. What would you like to do? And he likes that idea of when people kind of make fun of themselves.
Oh, yeah. Not enough people do that. And not a lot of people can do that.
Oh, yeah.
It's when you can successfully do that. I think it's especially comedic gold, especially when it's a star like Carl Weathers.
Oh, yeah. And he like kind of wanted to. He came up with the whole idea himself, but it was like you have these characters that are they have that one super defining trait about them. And he was looking at, okay, we got characters on the show that do this, and he started thinking about these people that he knows that try to they're super cheap and try to have everybody else like pick up the tab for everything. And so that became his super defining characteristic. Was he came on as the acting coach, but it was all about how to get free stuff.
I love it.
And I just always think of him when they're at the party eating the chicken wing or whatever, and he's like, oh, wait, you gonna throw that out? I still got some meat on there. You get some carrots, you get some whatever. Baby, we got a stew going.
I love it, especially when he starts dating or fancying Lucille too. That's one of my favorite. Buster walks in.
Oh yeah,
and they're getting a stew on.
Yeah, I love it because, man, and you can take Apollo Creed and just have him like totally out there like chinsing off everybody.
Oh yeah, it's perfect. I love I love Arrested Development in general, and I say in general because really it's the first 3 seasons that are really worth anything.
Oh yeah,
because the last 2 just, I don't know. It just didn't
4
work.
had some funny things in it, but it just overall, it was the funny stuff was scattered around. And then 5, I don't even remember 5.
No, I don't either. And that's how sad it is. But I mean, it was probably one of the original, series that got canceled too early that people wanted back.
Oh, but hands down.
It definitely has. That ship has definitely sailed, especially with the passing of like Lucille and everything. I can never remember her real name, but
she doesn't have a real name. She is Lucille Bluth.
I know, and that's exactly that's what happens when you play those type of roles so perfectly. So.
Yep, I still to this day, I quote Job often.
Oh yeah, what's your favorite?
Come on.
Yeah, come on. Yeah. Oh my gosh. I mean, I could probably talk about Arrested Development this whole show,
I could too.
but no, I probably should get back to the show.
Oh yeah, that's right. You are trying to do something because everybody bailed on you.
Yeah, everybody bailed on me. That's okay. I mean, at least Spencer has a legit reason.
Somewhat, yeah. Kent's not like going all Midsummer again, is he?
Who knows?
Okay.
we should know next week on the episode. But anyway, thanks KP so much for hopping on this phone call. I know I kind of ambushed you a little bit, but
no problem at all.
So, all right. Well, I'll talk to you later, man.
Ciao.
Bye. Okay. You know what? And honestly, finally, our last but not least, the proud Disney mom, Budge. So thank you so much, each and every one of you. Now that I'm thinking of it, I really should call Tanya as well. Like I feel bad. I feel like I owe her an apology, not just a public apology here on the podcast, but I need to call her personally to apologize. I'm gonna give her a call here.
Hello?
Tanya, hey, it's Josh.
What's up, Josh?
Hey, I just had to call you. First off, I'm totally recording the show right now.
Awesome.
And I just had to call you and apologize over the air for my take on the Spirit jerseys.
I appreciate
I
it.
think I think I hit not necessarily a nerve. I hit a little heartstring because I know you love those, and you've been showing them off and telling us how all of the Spirit jerseys you have. So I'm sorry, Tanya, proud Disney mom.
Proud Disney mom, poking the proud Disney mom with the Spirit jerseys.
No. You can't poke the proud Disney mom. I mean, that's worse than poking a country bear at Walt Disney World. You just don't do it, right?
We don't do it.
No.
No.
So I had to apologize.
No, it would be better if you were wearing the Spirit jersey while you apologized. But
hold on. Let me go get it. Hold on 1 second. Hold on. I'm getting it. Hold on, I got
the
it.
things we can make Josh do.
Okay. There we go.
Awesome.
Okay, now I'm wearing it.
Yes.
I'm wearing it now, so
the universe is
apologies.
aligned. Everything is great.
Now the question is, are you wearing one?
Of course. Got Jack Skellington on today. The Nightmare Before Christmas.
Ooh.
Yeah.
That's I think I've seen that one. They've sold it I think in the parks.
Right.
Well, I mean they always sell Jack Skellington stuff.
Yeah.
But.
And it was at both parks, Disneyland, Disney World. And then I have this one matches one that my daughter has, and then she bought me another one that's got just different characters from around the parks, and she has the same matching one. And then I got the 50th anniversary from Disney World.
Ooh.
And I'm getting 2 more. She's buying me 2 more, hopefully in the next week or so. She's getting me the one that has the play in the parks on the back, and then I'm getting the parks icons Spirit jersey from Disney World. So,
ooh,
yeah, they're fun.
I love. Now, this was my critique. I want to say this was my only critique. It's not that I don't like the Spirit jersey, but sometimes Disney can go a little overboard. I do love the look of the play in the park.
I love that. That's one of my favorites. It stands out so much. And the fact they put it on a yellow Spirit jersey so it stands out even more. I love it. So I can't wait to get that one.
I've been tempted on that one. It's just I just don't like things on my torso. And that's just a me thing. But I love the look of the play in the park stuff.
Yeah, that one's
because
really
it's
cute.
It's just fun. It's the mid-century modern stuff, but I got to know though, how many Spirit jerseys do you own?
I only have 4, but my dog also has one.
Your dog?
She was wearing it. Yeah, my dog has one. She got it dirty, so it's in the wash right now. Yeah, she's got the Disney Pride one. It's really cute. It's all like psychedelic looking and cool. But like I said, I'll have 2 more. Now my daughter has, I would say she has probably 15, maybe more.
Wow.
She has a lot. She has a few that match me, and then her and her boyfriend have matching Spirit jerseys. They got the cast member ones too, and they're so cute.
Oh, I didn't know they made cast member ones.
Yeah, they did for the 100th, the Disney 100th celebration. They made cast member Spirit jerseys, and so they have those, and they're so cute.
Oh, that's
She's got
awesome.
one for pretty much every season. It's really cute. So.
Oh, well, now since you are the proud Disney mom of a cast member who is a Jungle Cruise skipper.
Yes.
I'm just jealous because that is my dream Disney job. I would love that. Yeah. And I think I said this before, but my only thing, well, I have a couple of requests here actually, but my first request would be don't be that angsty teenager kind of character, because those are just not the fun skippers when they're like,
no,
oh, watch out, there's a hippo. Or like, this is my I keep doing this route, oh, it's the other side of water.
Yeah.
No, Be fun, be energetic, be you, because that's the most fun that I usually have on the Jungle Cruise, is when you can tell it's legitimately their personality. They're having fun. They're into it. So, and then as well, I don't know if you even have a poll on this, but there needs to be some cooler, better Jungle Cruise merch.
I agree with that. I was just looking for Jungle Cruise merch, and I think there was one shirt, and it's from the movie. And I mean, the movie was cute, but I don't want merch from the movie. I want merch from the ride. They used to have really cute Minnie Mouse ears, and I think they had a matching Spirit jersey at one point, but they don't anymore. And I'm really sad about it. I think it definitely needs more love.
It does. Because I collect more so than Spirit jerseys. I collect the Hawaiian shirts, the poolsiders, whatever you want to call them. And I've been dying to get something from the Jungle Cruise or something from Adventureland.
Yeah, there's very little
that I
there.
like.
Yeah,
because I just haven't seen anything. I've seen some pretty cool, like mid-century modern merch that would be cool on a poolsider or a Hawaiian shirt, but it's I don't know. Again, it's that Disney trap where they'll stick it on a t-shirt and they'll put words all over it. I want simplicity, and I want just a fun pattern. The world needs more Jungle Cruise merch. So
I agree with
I'm
that.
just putting that out there.
Someone's got to be listening, right?
Right. I mean, I'm sure that we've got some high executives from Disney that are listening to the other show.
There has to be.
There has to be. Anyway, well, okay. I'm not going to take your whole night here, Tanya, because I could talk Disney with you all night long.
I could definitely talk Disney all night. I could talk Jungle Cruise and everything my daughter's doing over there. She's been having so much fun being a skipper and learning how to drive the boat. I did not know this, and maybe you did, and maybe some of our listeners did. I thought that the Jungle Cruise was on a track. It is not on a track. It is a free-floating vessel. And so they really are steering that boat. I thought they were just faking it. I'm not gonna lie.
Wow.
I thought they were faking it. No, they're really driving that thing, and they have to slow down at certain places. If they don't slow down, you know, in the part where the elephant, maybe I shouldn't say all of this, but where the elephant,
I want some Disney secrets,
right? Where the elephant can spray you, it really can spray. If they don't slow down, it will get you wet. I did not know that. I honestly thought that, you know, there was some sort of a track and a trigger for that thing, but no, you can't. It is timed, but it will get you wet. So I thought that was really interesting, and so they are having to drive it, and some fun little Jungle Cruise trivia of what I can share. I'm not allowed to share a lot, but she did say that on the ride, if you actually look very closely, every single prop actually has a story, whether it's in the queue line or on the ride. Every single thing you see has a story. There are little Easter eggs that will go to other rides. They may not necessarily be rides in the same park or even in the same country. Some of the little clues or the little Easter eggs go to rides, to like the Haunted Mansion ride over in, I think it's in Tokyo, that they reference, and same with the Tower of Terror over in Paris. That's not called the Tower of Terror over there, but there are little hidden things for those rides. So I thought that was really cool. You have to pay attention. And I'm not sure about Disneyland, but at Disney World, when you first get on the little boat and they take you around the corner, there's a bait shop right there, and there's different fish in the bait shop. There are 3 fish from Galaxy's Edge. From Star Wars. It was done on purpose. It's done from the Imagineers. There is a storyline behind it, but nobody knows what the storyline is at this time. So at some point, we may get some future upgrades to some things, or I don't know. I don't know how they're going to tie that in, but there are fish from Galaxy's
That's
Edge.
cool.
Yeah.
That's cool.
I thought that was pretty neat to learn.
We definitely need to have you back on to talk, especially about these little hidden Disney things, Easter eggs and all that, because again, I could talk to you about this for hours.
I think we could, for sure. That could be a whole episode. I would love it if we could get Skipper Kelly on here, but now with her schedule and being 2 hours apart, that makes it really difficult. But
well, she can definitely call in any time.
I tell her this all the time.
She should.
It's so funny how shy she gets with that, but yet she's a skipper on the Jungle Cruise and has no problem telling jokes all day and having to interview people. She's great at that, but sometimes this one-on-one, she just is not as comfortable. So it's kind of funny how she is that way.
Well, if she's listening, 801-508-4989, she can leave a message on my voicemail.
I will remind her.
We would definitely love Skipper Kelly to call in sometime. So anyway, but I will let you get back to your day. I didn't mean to take up so much of your time.
No, anytime, especially to get such a heartfelt apology on the Spirit jersey, wearing our Spirit jerseys.
Yes.
Our bond is stronger.
It is much stronger. Our hearts are together.
Yes. So this is what the other show does. It brings all the love and yes.
Yes, it does. All right. Well, I will talk to you later. We'll get you on the show, and Skipper Kelly, give us a call. So
yes, I'll remind her.
All right. Yes, please. All right. Well, thank you so much, and you have a good night.
Thank you. You as well.
All right. Bye.
Bye.
Tanya. Okay. Thank you, everybody. I would have called all of you if I had all the time in the world. And personally, maybe I'll do it. But again, thank you so much, Rick, Chris Anderson, Terry, Brandon, Johnny, Karen, Dave, KP, Tanya, everybody, thank you so much. I've got to end it here because I think I just spent over a half an hour reading the Patreon names, and man, you've probably already tuned out. So anyway, I'm just going to end it here. We'll see you next week with Kenny. You've just listened to The Other Show with Kent Dunn, Josh Hansen, and Spencer Myers. The Other Show is produced by Kent Dunn, Josh Hansen, and Spencer Myers. Show design and auto editing is done by me, Josh Hansen, and sales manager is Spencer Myers. The Other Show is generously supported by our friends on Patreon. A huge thank you to our friends with benefits. These friends are contributing $25 a month, which in return comes with some rather significant benefits. So we'd like to give a huge thank you to KP Brown, our favorite Brit, Jonathan Vaskar, the lovely and talented Mrs. Robinson, Brandon from Popfly Cards, the one, the only Chris Anderson, Lady Terry A. Finley, proud Disney mom Tanya Budge, Dave Kelly, and Rick Smith and Taylor Myers from the Spirit of 38 podcast. To support The Other Show on Patreon, visit patreon.com/The Other Show. Contributors on Patreon can get both weekly and monthly bonus episodes, including exclusive swag and other fun perks. Again, visit patreon.com/The Other Show. Please rate, review, and subscribe to The Other Show on Apple Podcasts, Spotify, iHeartRadio, YouTube, or wherever podcasts are found. Follow us on Facebook, Instagram, and X. To better connect with us and other fans of The Other Show, join us on Facebook at our Facebook group, The Other Group. For past episodes, links to our other shows, and to shop for show swag, visit www.theother.show. And remember, when you're not listening to me here, you can hear me on my other show, The Party in the Back. You can hear Kenny on Bacon Sale, and Spencer he ain't here.